Hello, everybody. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how shooting is going for Crystal Mystery Productions' latest production, Machine Man. Shooting occurred last Friday, which is the 24th of July at around 3 a.m. It was a wet, warm night. It was early in the morning and it was beginning to not just rain but storm outside. So I knew I had very limited time to shoot. My camera, which is a 4K camcorder, isn't waterproof. So I wasn't sure as well if the plan was going to be a hit or miss. So when I woke up at 1 o'clock and I heard thunder, it was a real decision to make whether I wanted to shoot or postpone. And I ended up just choosing to continue and prepare for the shoot and brave whatever weather may be out there. I was feeling extremely anxious when I woke up because, as opposed to the prior shoot, which I did on the 11th of July, this shoot was my first time going out as the monster, which you can see there. I felt brave enough to go out in costume, and remember, I'm doing this production alone right now. So it's just me and the camera. So I felt brave enough to go out in costume because during the first shoot on the 11th, Bay Ridge, which was the location I chose for the scene, was completely empty. And, it was empty of two things: police and people. And so it would have gotten, I believe that I would have had some challenges shooting the monster scenes because I don't want to scare people and I don't want to possibly get arrested for disturbance of the peace. Because look at this thing. It's really hellish, this costume. So I didn't want, I knew it would be okay. But I was still nervous anyway because I was testing my hypothesis. And I had to put the proof to the pudding, so to say. So at 1 o'clock, I took my coffee and I got ready. And so the process of getting ready was, it had 2 steps. Let's see. There we are. So, one thing I needed to do was first I needed to get dressed in the suspenders that I was wearing. They weren't really suspenders, more like fishing overalls. I think I can pull that up. I apologize about this, the lack of immediacy to this process. I'm the only one recording right now, so I don't have people to handle opening up the media. So I'm recording and I'm, plugging you guys into what you need to see, so I'm sorry about that. I got everything up really quick. Just want to be able to show you guys a shot, which I thought was really cool, and it shows the costume that I had to wear. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Oh shoot, that's loud. Oof. Ay Dios míos. That almost gave me a heart attack. Alright. Let's just pull this up. There we go. Okay. There we are. Let's see if I can go full, or let me zoom in. 200%. No, that's too much. 100%. Yeah, there we go. So I had a kind of like these fishing overalls and a tank top. And my body was covered with a black and red makeup, and I wanted to give the appearance of soot and scabs and blood. And so, here's a close-up of my hand, and I applied a liquid latex, not to this hand, but to the other hand. I applied it right down my arm to give a raised and groovy, almost fleshy texture. Funny thing is, I actually had to shave the latex off because it got stuck to my arm hair. That stuff is really gooey. So the process was, I got dressed and then I applied all the makeup. And I have a video of the makeup application for posterity. Maybe I'll release that one day soon. Can't hurt. So anyhow, it's about 2:30, almost 3 by the time I'm ready to go. And mind you, just to remind you again, that's in the AM. And I'm driving and I see lightning in the distance. It must be like 30 miles away. The sky illuminates pretty much in the distance, and it's a really beautiful night. The first thing I noticed when I got out of my garage is that it had rained already in my part of Brooklyn, which is Sheepshead Bay. But when I drove out to Bay Ridge, I noticed that the ground wasn't wet yet, so I figured I had maybe a little bit more time before the storm started. And that wasn't necessarily true. Basically, as soon as I got there, it started drizzling, and about 5 minutes after drizzling, it started to rain moderately. I was very lucky that the makeup held up so long in the rain. And just here's an example of how heavily it was raining. And it was cold rain, very refreshing in the hot humidity. Okay. Let's fit this. I mean, if you look even over here, I mean, you can see everything is wet. And I'm soaked. Funny thing, I think this'll show it pretty nicely. I was wearing like a male waist trainer, which I've mainly seen for women. It was almost like a Velcro corset that I wore around my tummy, and it flattened me because I did gain a bit of weight in quarantine, and you know, it was really helpful to wear that. I actually didn't even know that what I bought was a corset. I thought it was like a combat vest. I don't have any good pictures of it because of the how well it kind of blends into the how well it blends into the tank top and the overalls. I like this shot. I'm gonna take that. Let me just grab that. It looks kind of silly. So I'll just need to keep it like that. So yeah. So I shot for about an hour, and I traced back my steps from the first shooting, which was on the 11th. And I wanted to give the feeling that this creature was pursuing the guy very slowly but very surely, kind of like the tortoise and the hare. So the monster, even though it's lurking almost very meticulously, morosely, it will eventually catch up to the guy and end his life. So what I ended up really liking from these scenes was the close-ups. Let's see. Let me fit that to the screen. There we go. And I really like how wet this looks over here. That's kind of gross. The rain worked to my advantage there. These close-up shots were really I think the money shots that I got from my shoot. And I think they convey a sense of terror, of disgust. Again, the rain works here because of the glistening effect it has on the mask. Even here, like that. I really like that. you know, the bulging of the eye. So, the way I picture this scene coming together is a lot of mystery, a lot of keeping the viewer at bay just enough to know that, you know, this character, he's being chased. That's a camera test. You know, he's being chased by something, you know. But I want to hold back the appearance of this monster until the very end. I want him to have a looming presence that is eerie and disturbing. Because there's different types of horror. There's shock. There's disturbingness. There is disgust. And so I really want to tap into the eeriness, almost like you feel like you're being watched. You feel like it's like almost that feeling when you're scared of the dark because you don't know what's there. So that fear of the unknown is an eerie fear, and it's something that just makes you uncertain. And then I want to come through at the end with a bit of disgustingness, including that, you know, that shot of the mask. And so one thing I really like, and I'll show you right now, is that I might zoom in here, and I'll show you what the effect is. I named it Money because it was a money shot. And so, like, just this gum flap, this black eyeball. I think that the minimalism here adds to this texture, because I find this very disgusting. Just what is that? Like, it's obviously a flap of skin coming over something red and wet, and that's so gross. Plus that eyeball, that's terrifying. This is clearly a monster. And clearly a force you do not want to be reckoning with. So I'd like to show this disgusting image at the end, and then finish the scene. So, where does this fit in to the grand scheme of the movie? Well, Machine Man is about a reclusive author who is socially isolated and feels alone. And so this monster exists in the nightmares of this author and is a metaphor and a representation of his dread, his dissatisfaction, and also kind of like his own desire to hold himself back. Because when one isolates themselves, being a human being. We oftentimes feel that we're dying inside. And I know this from firsthand experience, that when I am without connection, it's almost like being without oxygen. And just like the brain biologically would atrophize and die without oxygen, there's something to say about the soul, how it dies, how it decays, the spirit decays without connection to others. And so these nightmares are going to represent that. And hopefully there's something that the character can overcome if he chooses to change his life. And I don't want to spoil too much of the movie, so that's yet to be seen. Thank you for watching this behind the scenes. My name is Mike Hartman. I am the founder, producer, director, and lone actor in Crystal Mystery Productions. If you'd like to support the project, please like and subscribe to both this channel and my experimental channel, which is called Metroid Supreme. It's linked in this channel, so you can just click on the channel and, find the other one. I'm just thinking if I covered everything. Yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.